Hello and welcome back to the Southwestern Vehicle Auctions YouTube channel, joined by me, Owen, the classic car specialist here at Southwestern Vehicle Auctions. And you're joining us in our brand new site that we moved into over the Christmas period. Nice new modern facility, obviously nice and light in here. And behind me is our selection of classics for our winter classic car auction happening on the 1st of February, starting at 10 o'clock. So we're going to take a look at some of the cars that we've got in for this auction, give you a bit of information about them, and hopefully you find something you like. First off, we are with lot number 51 in our winter classic car auction. It is this Mark II Ford Capri 1600 XL. It's an automatic one, but this car has covered just 20,000 miles from new. It's had just 3 owners, originally owned by the garage it was supplied from, then supplied to the second owner who had it for 19 years, from 1975 up until 1994. In 1994, it was then bought by the current owner, Mr. Abramson, and he has had it up until now. It was stored from 1994 until 2018. Due to his health issues, he was unable to get it out quicker. But in 2018, he took it out, he recommissioned it, some work to the brakes was done, all the rubber hoses were replaced. Unfortunately, the body has slightly deteriorated over time, but it's still a solid example. I'm told that the underneath is still in good condition. So overall, it's a pretty solid car. Like I say, 20,000 miles from new. It's got plenty of history to go with it. It's got invoices for all the hoses and stuff and the brakes that were replaced. This would be a perfect little pickup for somebody who's looking for some light restoration work to do. It's not a restoration project, it literally just needs finishing off, and I think you've got a fantastic classic car to add to your collection. This one's estimated at £5,000 to £6,000, and I think for that sort of money, you cannot go wrong at all. Next up then, you're joined with me with lot number 45 in our winter classic car auction, and this is Morris Minor 1000 Traveller that has been fully restored. A beautiful, beautiful example of a Traveller. This example's been owned by the vendor since 2014, and in that time, since he's owned it, no expense has been spared in restoring this example. £8,500 worth from Woody's Morris Minor specialists. Invoices from the vendor's time of ownership it's got with it, and amongst that as well is also another £20,000 worth of invoices from the vendor's ownership and prior as well. So it's had the money spent on it. It is in absolutely fantastic condition. The interior is excellent. If we take a look inside of that, under the bonnet is excellent. It's got all the bits and pieces on it. The wood is in fantastic condition. It's been revarnished, it's been redone, and that's not an expensive thing to do. That's not a cheap thing to do either. That is an expensive piece of restoration to do. Like I say, this car has got fantastic history. It's also got tax discs as well, going back to the year 1969. So pretty much back to its insertion back in 1968. It's a fantastic example. We've estimated at £12,500 to £15,000, and I think that's probably the right amount of money to be paying for a fully restored Morris Minor Traveller. And here we are, joined by lot number 41 now, the third car we're looking at today. Probably one of the stars of the show in this winter classic car auction. A lovely example of a TR3A, finished in a lovely mature navy blue. This car is a original UK right-hand drive registered car, produced and made in and registered in Coventry originally, and has eventually whittled its way down to the south coast here. It's had plenty of work done to it over time. Obviously, it's got the larger and later 2.2 litre engine specification. It's got new Moss Europe cylinder heads. It had a rebuild in 2017 with new shells, liners and pistons. Further enhancements has also been an aluminium fuel tank in the same year, and a new hood as well. It's got a full tan leather interior, which looks absolutely fantastic up against the navy exterior. It's done to a really, really good standard. It's got all the tonneau covers, it's got all the stuff with it inside. It's a fantastic car in pretty good condition, I'd say, for its age. It had a body off rebuild in the 90s, so I think that's probably what's helped its condition overall. Like I say, a lovely little car. If you're into this sort of thing, it's just for you. I think it's priced perfectly. We've got an estimate on it of £17,000 to £18,000, and I think for that sort of money, you can't really go wrong. So moving on from lot number 41, we're moving on to lot number 46 now. This lovely example of a Rover Mini Cooper Sport. First registered in 1997, this one finished in a very, very rare but very, very eye-catching volcano orange. Obviously got the signature white stripes and white roof. This Mini's been under the vendor's ownership for the last 13 years, and they have done plenty to it, the vendors. It's had a powder-coated subframe, It's also had upgraded spring suspension, a replacement for the wheel cylinders, front brake calipers, rear brake drums, the list goes on. It's been very well looked after. It's in superb condition. It's got good mileage on it for its age as well. And it goes like something else. It is really very quick for the size car that it is. Interior is in beautiful condition. Take a look at that now. It's just a very nice example of a late 90s Rover Mini. We've estimated this one at £8,500 to £9,500, and I think that's spot on for this sort of Mini. So we're back now with the next couple of cars in this video. I'm joined by lot number 30 and lot number 28. These are two cars from a 3-car collection that are in this winter's sale. The other car involved in this collection is the Rover P4 100. It's in here as well. We're going to start with lot number 28, this lovely little standard flying 10. It's a car in really good condition overall. It's got £2,000 worth of invoices with it. It's got MOTs dating back to 1982, and it's got a standard Motor Club exhibit certificate with it as well. So it's been to shows. It looks pretty much almost show ready. It's in fantastic condition. Exterior and interior wise, it's fantastic. The vendor had this car stored in his garage, central heated garage. So they've all been very well looked after. Obviously the Standard 10 was produced by the British Standard Motor Company from 1906 to 1961. And the 10 is to do with the fiscal or tax horsepower. The Flying 10 was introduced in 1937 and replaced the earlier model. Obviously it features the semi-streamlined look. It's such a lovely looking car for how old it is. We think we've got a very good price on this one, £2,500 to £3,500. I think I'd be surprised if it doesn't make a little bit more than that. I think that estimate is rather conservative. It's a beautiful car and perfect for any sort of classic enthusiast. The next one we're moving on to is the lot number 30. We've got the Austin A35 van. Now this is a conversion. I believe it's a van converted into the Countryman, hence the windows on the rear of it. This one is finished in spruce green. It's a lovely example. In the history file with it, there's a little magazine cut out that shows it with its previous owner, and that reveals that the car has actually been affectionately known as Noddy for part of its life. So this is Noddy, the Austin A35 van. It's in good condition. These things are getting increasingly rare now, and they're very hard things to find. Has some good history with it. It's got MOTs ranging from 1989 to 2005, so it's got some provenance with it as well. It's also got spares in the back. It's got the original driver's seat because the vendor has swapped the driver's seat out for something a bit more comfortable, so it's been more comfortable for him to drive. But the original driver's seat is in the back, along with a collection of other spares and bits and pieces to go with this car. We've estimated this one at £4,000 to £5,000, and I think that's a tremendous little pickup for that amount of money. The next car in this video, you join me in lot number 50, this tremendous little Fiat X19 Baton. This car is absolutely fantastic. Words cannot describe really just how nice it is. From the interior to the exterior, it is just absolutely fantastic. It's covered just 14,000 miles from new, and there's paperwork to back that all the way up. It's got a service book that contains 12 stamps between the years 1988 and 2023. It's also got a range of old MOTs with it and invoices for work done. This car has truly been looked after. Now the vendor hasn't had this car this long, but he's decided to sell due to the underusing of it and the inability to store it for any longer due to losing his storage space. Also with the car, it's got invoices totaling nearly £1,200. Now this one is the Batoni variant, but Fiat made the X19 for 10 years, from 1972 to 1982. From there on in, Gruppo Battone made the car from 1982 to 1989. So this one is a Batoni model. It is in absolutely stellar condition for what it is. This is a rare example to own a low mileage classic car in fantastic condition. And we've estimated this one as £6,775 to £7,775. And I think if you can pick it up between those two figures, it'll be an absolute bargain. But I've got a feeling they might go for a little. Now you join me in lot number 47 in this plush Citroen DS interior. Isn't it just fantastic? Brown leather. It's been fully reupholstered in the front. It is a lovely, lovely car. Now, obviously, these got a massive following, but this one is in very, very good condition inside and out. Now, this one unfortunately comes from a bit of an executor or a power of attorney sale. I believe that the lady who owns this car is not very well, so it's come to auction to be sold. Now, prior to coming to us, it was stored in a classic and luxury car storage facility in the New Forest, and we collected it from there. In that facility, it's kept trickle charged. It's got a drip pan underneath to check for oil leaks, and from the result we were given was that it had no oil leaks and it had been trickle charged the whole time. So this car comes to us in fantastic condition. Now, history-wise, it comes with quite a decent history. It's got invoices for the interior overhaul, and that totals about £1,400 in total, which is about right. In fact, it might even be slightly on the high end as well, in that the door cards and the seats and everything were done inside. It's also got with it invoices for substantial work performed at Citroen Classics of Staines in Middlesex, and that amounts to about £3,000 carried out between 2013 and 2016. Let's take a look outside. Now you can see the outside of this car. You can see just how nice it is, both on the inside, like we just showed you, and on the outside as well. It's in brilliant condition. Overall, it's a fantastic little one to pick up. This one's got an estimate of it of £13,000 to £16,000. And I think for that sort of money, that's a perfect price to pick up a DS23 Pala. You join me next up. We're getting towards the end now with the cars we're looking at, but this is lot number 32. This is a rubber bumper MGB GT from the year 1978. And this car is probably one of the best rubber bumper MGBs I've seen condition-wise. It's really, really good. All done the paintwork, inside as well. It's in fantastic condition. Now this car is not just good on the outside and the inside, but it's also good in the history file as well. Now it's had it's got £10,000 worth of invoices inside the history file. That includes also that doesn't include also a purchase invoice from 2004 when it was bought from California Classics in Hull, and that amounted to £13,750. That included things like the cassette player, the sunroof, but also the car itself. And I think this car is just in fantastic condition for what it is. It's a rubber bumper MG. They don't really usually age that well, but this one has. It's been kept in fantastic condition. Not owned by the vendor very long either, but again, unfortunately, he's lost his storage space. The place that he's been storing it with, unfortunately, the chap has fallen ill who owns the place, so he's had to get rid of it. He's been forced to sell. We've got an estimate on this car of £5,500 to £6,500, and I think it's worth that all day long. In fact, it could be worth a little bit more, because I think you'll struggle to find another MGB GT with a rubber bumper that has got this level of history. Now, I'm very excited to show you this one. This is probably one of two cars that are the definitely best in show out of this classic car auction. It's lot number 43. It's this beautiful Triumph TR6, 1972. Finishing is original saffron yellow. Obviously, it's been resprayed, but it's the original colour, and the heritage certificate backs that up. It is in absolutely fantastic condition, both inside and out. The paintwork's been done to a very high standard. The interior has been done to a very high standard. It's got the MX5 seats inside, so a bit more comfortable than the originals. However, I think the originals can be obtained from the vendor when you purchase, if you are interested. Now, this car was purchased by the vendor in 2007, and in this time, it's had lots of work and maintenance done to it for performance purposes or just overall running purposes. So if I just list a few things off here, it's had a spin-on oil filter conversion installed. It had the original steel rocker cover replaced with a lightweight alloy version. It's been upgraded to an electronic ignition system, which replaces the original points and condenser. It's got a Bosch fuel pump. It's got an enhanced cooling system. The list really does go on this one. There's plenty more. You can read that in our description online on the vehicle's listing. Like I say, this vehicle is in absolutely fantastic condition. I think you'll struggle to find another example like this one. It's very, very nice. We've got an estimate of £12,500 to £15,000. I think that's rather conservative. I think to find a TR6 in this condition is very rare. I wouldn't be surprised to see it go above that. This is a fantastic pickup, and I hope you would bidding. Now, here we are with the last car of the video, and what I would say is probably the best car in this winter auction. It's lot number 48. It's a Ford Granada. It's a Mk1, but it's the 3-litre gear automatic. Now, this car is fantastic on the outside, on the inside, mechanically. It's had everything done on it, and when I say everything, I mean everything. It's a Mk1 Granada. Obviously, the Granadas were produced between 1971 and 1978, and this example has really stood the test of time. I believe it's got invoices in the file for work done. Some of that involves restoration work, pictures to back it up as well, but the interior on it is completely original. It's not been touched, not been reupholstered. It is completely original, and it looks like the day it came out the factory. It's fantastic inside of there. Now, mentioning the history, This car hasn't just got some history, this car has got phenomenal history. There's a plastic wallet with invoices in, and then there's also a whole ring binder folder with invoices in. Those invoices in total amount to £25,000, which is just exceptional. That shows the level of care and detail that has gone in to making this car how it looks right now. It's finished in this beautiful bronze metallic over a beige cloth interior, and it looks absolutely stunning. It's got the sunroof as well. It's the gear, it's top of the range, it's fantastic. Powered by the 3 litre. What more would you want from the car? We've estimated this car at £16,000 to £17,000, and I think you'll struggle to find another Granada that looks like this with the history that it's got. It's fantastic. Unfortunately, it's had to be sold because of the vendor's illness. He's got ill health, he's going to have to sell it on, but this is a fantastic pickup for anybody, and I wouldn't be surprised to see it make near the £20,000 mark. So that's it. That wraps up our auction preview for our winter classic car auction happening on the 1st of February, starting at 10 o'clock. That's about a fifth of the entries in the auction, so if you want to see the rest of the entries, head to our website www.swva.co.uk to see the rest of the entries. Head to our classic car auction section, you'll be able to see all the entries there. Few more bits of administration for you. Our bidding registrations open on Saturday the 27th at 9 AM in the morning, and they close on Wednesday the 31st of January at 10 PM. So if you want to get registered and you want to bid on any of these amazing cars that are in our winter classic car auction, head to our website between those 2 dates. You've got the options of haul, telephone, commission and online bidding. A £1,000 holding deposit is required, but that is refundable. That gets released back to you if you're unsuccessful. I can't wait for this auction. I hope you're going to join us here in the hall for our first auction on our brand new site. We look forward to seeing you there.